Getting you ready for game time. Join me, Sal from Behind Your Basketball, as I announce play-by-play. Make sure to smash the like and subscribe, because now we're about to go live. Entering the pregame, we now present Sal from Behind Your Basketball. And what's good, everyone? Happy Sunday afternoon. Glad to have you guys on board once again on the channel, as we have the round of 32 matchup. The number 7 seed, the Kentucky Wildcats, taking on the number 2 seed, the Iowa State Cyclones, for a battle of whoever wins this one will go on to the Sweet 16 to face the winner of Tennessee versus Virginia. If you're new to the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well if you'd like to be notified for future live streams here on the channel. Kentucky with a big-time win in overtime over Santa Clara in their first game on Friday in the round of 64. Otega Owe, he was big-time in that matchup, finished with 35 points. He drilled a half-court three at the buzzer at the end of regulation to force overtime, and then Kentucky took over the game in overtime, picked up the win 89-84. Iowa State demolished Tennessee State in a 2 versus 15 matchup, 108-74. On a Friday afternoon. Big loss, though, for the Cyclones, as their key player got injured early on in the game. Joshua Jefferson, a second-team All-American, first-team All-Big 12 Conference selection, number 2 in the team in points per game, leading rebounder, and number 2 in assists per game. And that's a humongous loss for the Cyclones in this game. According to his status, it said doubtful going into this matchup. Yesterday, he was wearing crutches with a walking boot, and it's highly unlikely that Jefferson's going to suit up for this matchup today. I'll check to see if there's anything else, but there really hasn't been much out there about Jefferson in terms of if he's going to go or not, but I highly doubt it. His status yesterday was said as doubtful, but basically that changes a lot of stuff for Iowa State. He has the number 3 net rating out of all players in the Big 12, and also number 3 in offensive rating by any player in the Big 12 per net rating. So that's a humongous loss there, as Iowa State's down to now 2 scorers who average double figures, and Milan Momcilovic, he is the leading scorer, putting up 17 points per game. Jefferson was right behind, averaging 16.4, and then Tamin Lipsey averaging 13 points per game. It's going to be a lot on Lipsey today. He's going to have a huge game. He's the top playmaker on the team. Jefferson right behind in assists per game. But I expect if Iowa State comes out win this game, everybody's going to have to step up for the Cyclones in this matchup. And that's what happened. They're en route to their win over Tennessee State. They lost Jefferson early, And nevertheless, they smashed Tennessee State 108-74, and they get solid contributions right down the line. 22 points off the bench by Nate Heisey of Iowa State. 25 points by Kilian Torre. So that's huge right there. When you get production out of those guys, that's just massive. I have Iowa State in my bracket to win this one. Honestly, would not shock me if Kentucky does win this one because of Iowa State with their key player Jefferson out. I mean, that's a humongous loss, and it opens up the door now for Kentucky with an opportunity to take this match. And if you're Kentucky, I think a lot is going to be determined about the ball control today in this matchup here for Big Blue. They have to take care of the basketball. They struggled with the handles against Santa Clara. 11 turnovers. They only forced 7 against Santa Clara. And they're going up against one of the scrappiest defenses in the country. The backcourt still racking up a bunch of steals. Taman Lipsey, first in the Big 12 with 2.2 steals per game. He's going to make it a nightmare out there for Otega Owe to keep his handle alive because he just hounds the basketball and pressures the ball. This Iowa State team, they are built with dogs, and they get scrappy defenders that force turnovers. They rank 16th in the nation in steals per game, 13th in total defense, 6th in turnovers forced. So they're going to see if they can speed up Kentucky's ball handlers all throughout the course of this matchup. Kentucky, huge with Otega Owe, had 35, sent his team off to overtime. Mohamed Diabate playing really good lately, too. He had 17 points. There was a story about him in the pregame before Purdue-Miami about Diabate with the fast during Ramadan, and then he could finally have his first drink. It was in the middle of the A&M game a couple of weeks ago when Ramadan finished up, and he said that once Ramadan finished that he's been getting stronger and stronger every single game for Diabate. It showed during the last game, 17 points, 8 rebounds, 3 blocks coming off the bench. Brandon Garrison had a solid game too. He had 10 points off the bench. And Denzel Aberney, that experience from going to the national title last year for Florida, that's just massive to have on your team. Aberdeen coming off a 16-point game and a win over Santa Clara. Feel free, hit us up in the chat who you guys like to win this one. Type it in. Kentucky, Iowa State going to tip off. It was slated for 2:45 p.m. I think they pushed it back a little bit around like 2:50-ish or so. I'll see if there's an update there for the time that got pushed back. 2:45 it still says. I believe it's been pushed back a couple minutes though. Congratulations out to Purdue. Purdue won the first game today, 79-69 over Miami. So Purdue advances on to the Sweet 16, and Purdue will take on Texas in the Sweet 16 next week. So the matchups look like this in the Sweet 16 down the bracket. I'll go from the top left side. Duke will face the winner of Kansas versus St. John's. That's the matchup after this one. Arkansas got by High Point last night. What a battle for High Point. Arkansas will face the winner of Arizona versus Utah State. Michigan State won yesterday. They face the winner of UCLA versus UConn later tonight. That's going to be a fantastic game. I'll be streaming that one later tonight. UCLA versus UConn, 8:45 p.m. Feel free to join in. Mick Cronin, Dan Hurley, the coaching just expressions from those two guys. That's going to be just what a sight to see later tonight. Texas against Purdue. That matchup set in the Sweet 16. Nebraska will face the winner Iowa, Florida. Michigan will face the winner of Texas Tech, Alabama, the late game. This game, the winner of this game will face the winner of Tennessee, Virginia in the Sweet 16. And then Illinois versus Houston matched up. And that's going to be a tremendous Sweet 16 battle between a 3 and a 2. Avi, welcome in. Yeah, Big Ten looking really good, this bracket. Jimbo, like in Iowa State here. Welcome back in, bud. We got Beverly in the stream, taking Kentucky. Jeffrey liking Kentucky here. Yeah, huge loss for Iowa State without Joshua Jefferson. I took Iowa State in my bracket to win this one. Major loss, though, when you lose a All-American player like Jefferson. If Iowa State has done what they've done all season long, they just speed up the ball handlers, force turnovers, and convert those into points, they're going to win this one for Iowa State. Especially if Kentucky comes out and they start to do what they did in the first half with just some poor shot selections for them. They were going to the perimeter, attempting a bunch of threes to start off against Santa Clara. Like, you get pounded inside. And now going into this game, they did turn it over 11 times. Only mustered 7 forced turnovers against Santa Clara. You got to play perfect basketball for Kentucky. Limit those turnovers to beat an Iowa State team that just consistently forces you over. I mean, they got scrappy defenders all over. Patricia welcome in, like in Tennessee later today to beat Virginia. Yeah, I saw that. Jeffrey put that out there. W for Providence, getting Brian Hodgson from South Florida. Yeah, a couple years at Arkansas State, 1 year at South Florida, 1 year took them to the tournament. And he brought in guys that were physical, that pressured the basketball. That should be really good. Really good coaching hire right there for PC. Yeah, they were one of the top offensive units in the country. So some people don't like the hire because some people already, right off the bat, are comparing Brian Hodgson to Kim English, which is a complete 180. Not even close. Kim English coached at George Mason, didn't take that team to the tournament. They were like bottom mid-pack A10 in points per game. This South Florida team was a top 20 team in scoring. They were one of the top teams in the nation in steals per game this year. That South Florida team, they were scrappy defenders, physical ball players, and it's not like PC that they have that like scrappy, gritty identity like under Ed Coley and Kim English. They had that scrappy physical identity, but the scoring was like a nails on chalkboard. Like the offense was terrible. It was just guys just standing, waiting for the basketball and not moving. Whereas South Florida, they were so close to upsetting Louisville in the first round. They had their worst shooting game of the season at the worst time in the tournament. Like they never shot the ball that bad from three. If it was any other game, because they forced 20 plus turnovers on Louisville, South Florida, if they're drilling their shots, they win that game. So if Brian Hodgson brings in guys like he did at South Florida, like I bet you a good chunk of those players from South Florida are just going to transfer over to Providence now. I mean, that's just a physical, scrappy identity that they start building at PC. Yeah, and for South Florida, I saw what they were writing on their forum over on Twitter. That's painful for South Florida. Like, a lot of people were complaining for South Florida that they gonna move conferences. Yeah, that's the truth. Like, the American, it's gotten so bad. I've said it for years about Memphis. Memphis needs to get out of that conference. They need to get out of that conference. The American used to have a bunch of great teams. They used to have Houston, UConn, Louisville used to be an American when they got their start like 13 years ago. Rutgers used to be in the American when it first started like 13 years ago, and now the American is just completely crumbled. It's not a good conference to be in anymore. Used to have like major conference teams in it when they cut off the old Big East, but nowadays that conference is rough. I got Iowa State in my bracket, so I'm going to stay with Iowa State. Wouldn't shock me if Kentucky does win this game, though, because Joshua Jefferson, that's a huge injury, and you only had 24 hours to prepare for this game without one of their key players. But if Iowa State comes out wins this game, especially if they dominate, like if Iowa State comes out wins by double digits, I mean, that really says something for the culture of this Iowa State squad. And they have leaders all in the courts. They're like one of these rare teams. So Joshua Jefferson is out today. So I get it right there. Yep, tickets team to Sweet 16s, Sweet 16s twice. My apologies there. I accidentally hit the audio thing. Yep, here we go. We are underway, and Iowa State controls the opening tip. Yep, we got it. Opening possession for Iowa State. Yeah, I got that. Accidentally hit the mute instead of the star. Runner inside the key. It is good for Iowa State to begin. Blake Buchanan scores the 2. Yeah, that was on me right there. I have the start button for the clock right next to the mute. Opening possession for Kentucky. Kind of backdoor away. Soars up and he dunks it with a 2-headed flush. 108 points in the first round against Tennessee State for Iowa State. Already fast tempo so far. 4 points in the first 40 seconds. Second possession of the game for Iowa State. Momcilovic dribbles up. Low block. Outside finds Heisey at a 3 left it short off the rim. A rebound secured by Kentucky with Yelovich. Second possession now for Kentucky. Right to left on the floor for Kentucky. Blue jerseys, white numbers, white letters for Big Blue. Moreno. Handoff Oweh as he's guarded by Heisey around the perimeter. On top into the hands to Yelovich. Yelovich towards his right, 10 on the timer. Yelovich handoff Chandler. Chandler at the free throw circle outside Oweh. Tees up the 3 left corner off the mark. No good. Rebound secured by Iowa State. Number 27, Killian Torrey takes up the floor. Torrey got a strip, lost it. Oweh collects the steal. Oweh up the court and got a turnover. Charge to Kentucky right back. So, yeah, that can't happen there if you're Big Blue. Otega Oweh. Yeah, that's a travel there by Oweh. Try to swoop around past midcourt. Props to Iowa State. They get back defensively and hustle. Oweh with a carry to basketball. Iowa State back with possession. Driving downhill to the cup. Heisey got it stripped out of bounds off his knee. It's a turnover. Yeah, that's off Heisey there. Yeah, both of these teams trying to push it down the floor against one another right now to start things off. Nobody wants to, settle in. Slow it down. Kind of chaotic here first couple minutes. Denzel Aberdeen on top into the hands to Yelovich. Yelovich towards his left off the dribble. 12 in the timer. Yelovich cross-court connects with Moreno, 7-foot big for Kentucky. Now at the free throw circle. Kick out corner. Chandler spots up for a 3. A swoosh. Colin Chandler able to dial it up. Sizzle the triple. 2 minutes into action. 4 possessions. 2 turnovers for Iowa State. Taman Lipsey at the elbow. Rises for the jumper. Deep 2. Around the rim and out. Tipped up. Offensive rebound controlled by Buchanan. Off the mark. No good. And a second chance shot. And the rebound goes back to Kentucky. Oweh. At the top. He is hounded by Lipsey. Off to his right to Yelovich. Yelovich dribbles up at the elbow. Yelovich bounce pass. Backdoor cutter. Soars up and he score. Up and in. Scoring a layup with Aberdeen. Good start here for Kentucky. 7-2. George, welcome back in. Thanks for joining in, bud. And Iowa State, they had the ball poke loose. Lipsey got it back, though. Lipsey finds the roller. Broke it up on the bounce, though, off Kentucky. Wow, perfect start right now for Kentucky. If you're doing the stream, just getting started tonight, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. TJ Otzelberger, Sweet 16, 2022-2024. Year 2. Mark Pope for Kentucky. Last year went to the Sweet 16. Got bounced out. Sweet 16 against Tennessee. Could take on Tennessee if they do get out of this matchup and win it. Tennessee faces Virginia. Winner of this game will face the winner of Tennessee versus Virginia at the low block. Aberdeen finds Yelovich, who lost the handles towards the near side off a wide dribble. Went out of bounds. Jake, welcome back in. Dale, welcome back in. Yeah, things going pretty well. Kind of rainy outside where I am. I was actually supposed to do a college baseball broadcast today, and then they moved the site like an hour and a half north, and they rescheduled the game. But eventually they canceled the game due to rain, so that was good. So it opened up my day today. Iowa State drives up to the low block. First time on the floor for number 1, Jamarian Bateman for the Cyclones, and they missed the shot down low. Kentucky back with possession. Finally, after both of these teams pushing it up the floor, Kentucky will start to slow it down. 5-point lead for the Wildcats. Oweh bumped into around the perimeter, followed by Bateman. Yeah, most likely they're probably going to go to PC with him. Yeah, usually those guys are like all like best friends with assistant coaches, so they usually travel with the head coach wherever he goes. I know on Kevin Willer's staff for Villanova, he had David Cox, who was an assistant with him at Maryland, and then he traveled to Villanova and is an assistant under Willard. Yeah, because I was wondering the other day, like, where is David Cox right now? He used to coach URI, be the head coach a couple of years ago at URI. Quarter jumper goes down by Kentucky. They bury the three by Chandler, able to get a generous bounce. And Iowa State down low scores the two. First basket today for the Cyclones down low. As we have a stoppage here. And the first media timeout. 15:24 left to go. Opening half of action. Colin Chandler, 2 made threes. Got a generous bounce. And then inside. Wasn't the prettiest possession off a missed runner by Iowa State. Able to score a putback up and under, though. Heisey on the board with the putback layup. All right, first timeout on the floor. Good start for Kentucky. They're coming out drilling threes. Colin Chandler was stone cold against Santa Clara from three. Today he's found his shot. Iowa State out of sorts. Yeah, big loss without Jefferson. Jefferson is the number 2 playmaker on the team, so it's going to be a lot to ask for Tamin Lipsey. Tamin Lipsey is averaging like 5 assists per game. Having 2 guys average like just under 5, that's massive. You don't really see that too often from a team that has 2 guys who's averaging like 4.8, 4.7 assists per game each. So cutting down that one playmaker without Jefferson, that's tough. Plus Jefferson leads the team in rebounding too. And that was just tough there that they got beat off the glass for that putback. Yeah, I saw Syracuse hired the head coach for Siena. I think he played at Syracuse. Yep. Yeah, Jerry McNamara. So he was at Syracuse. He played 2002 through 2006. Then he got his start in coaching at Syracuse. So grad manager, assistant coach. Wow, so he's back at his old stomping ground. So assistant coach for a ton of seasons, 2011 to 2023 for Jerry McNamara. He was the associate head coach, 23-24, and then left for Siena. Previous 2 seasons at Siena and then back at Syracuse as head coach. Good for him. Yeah, good for him there with a hire. Like, those guys played their hearts out against Duke. Like, I wonder if we would see that. Like, say, like, if Siena got crushed by, like, 40, if they took a loss like Prairie View A&M did against Florida in the first round, if they would ever have that option. But, yeah, good for them. Played Syracuse basketball. Knows the whole system because he was an assistant coach there for 12 years. Back to action. Kentucky by 6. Iowa State with possession. Iowa State attacking the paint. Layup's good. Up and in. Off the window for 2 by Tamin Lipsey. Good possession there by Iowa State coming back from the timeout. Brandon Garrison. First time on the court for him coming off the bench alongside Moussa Diabate for Kentucky. Diabate at the top. Defended top of the key by Momcilovic. Boosted out to Aberdeen. Aberdeen, 7 on the shot clock. Aberdeen guarded around the wing of the perimeter by Momcilovic. Aberdeen hoist up a 3, 1-on-1 splash. Big time shot right there by Denzel Aberdeen. Just squares up, contested 3, top of the key, and nails it with a hand in the face. Jamarian Bateman steps into a 3, off the mark, no good. Offensive rebound hauled in by Iowa State. New 20 in the timer for the Cyclones. Lipsy with a 3, skipped around the rim and out. Rebound secured by Garrison. Iowa State's been a solid perimeter shooting team, but struggling to make their shots right now. 9th in perimeter shooting in the nation. Having a tough time, though, from the outside. 0 for 3 to begin for Iowa State. Chandler into the hands to Diabate. Diabate at the top of the key. Dribbles up, drives inside the key. Floats up the runner off the back rim, no good. Long rebound controlled by Iowa State as they look to push it. Up the floor, they turn it over. Couldn't get his hand on that ball. Momcilovic off the lead pass. Stumbled up the floor, left off his fingertips out of bounds. Vegas, welcome back in, bud. Yeah, big W right there for PC. Tom, welcome in. Liking Kentucky here. Good start for Kentucky. Hit us up in the chat. Who you guys like to win here, Kentucky or Iowa State? Three field goals, just 3. Yeah, only 3 field goals this entire game for Iowa State. They also have 3 turnovers. Handoff Aberdeen off the double team. Aberdeen towards his right, circling around, gets to the way to the corner. Oway, up fake, stuck in the corner, and it'll stay. Kentucky ball. Dangerous possession. Otago Oway just stuck in that corner. Iowa State picks up the reach and foul. Yeah, he had lost the handle out of bounds, but Iowa State just right before that, they picked up the reach in. Inbound goes to Diabate. Diabate sends it off to Aberdeen. Aberdeen pulls up for a jumper. Got it. He is red hot right now. 16-6 Kentucky. Denzel Aberdeen on fire. Iowa State's got to get going. Looking for something to hang in this game. Heisey on top off to Bateman. Bateman with a 3 off the back rim. No good. Tipped up to Heisey for the offensive rebound. Heisey wide open 3. No good. They're just breaking them. Way too long right now for Iowa State. As we approach 13 minutes left to go in the first. Garrison off the double team. Garrison bounce pass underneath, bobbled, kept track of it down low with Diabate. Outside finds Garrison. Garrison, 12 of the timer, got stripped, got it back. Garrison inside. Runner off the back rim. Got the tip in though for 2. Musa Diabate able to clean it up. It's 18-6. 8-zip scoring run in the last 2+ minutes for Kentucky. Iowa State's going up for the layup. They get clobbered, they get fouled. 2 free throws coming up at the line by Buchanan. Rough start right now for Iowa State to start off this game. Nothing is dropping from 3. Zero for 6 right now from the perimeter. And this is the number 9 ranked team in the country in 3-point shooting percentage. 2 shots here at the line. First one, no good. Yeah, that's been their Achilles heel all season long. They're one of the worst free throw shooting teams in the country this year for Iowa State. So that's like the knock on them this year. I know a lot of people are hyping up Iowa State to like make it to the Final Four for a really deep run, but the knock I saw on them was that their free throw shooting percentage is not good. Second free throw is good. Number 21 with Dominicus Plata checks into the game from Germany. I got UConn woman to win the championship. Burke on the stream, welcome in, liking Kentucky. 7 for 10 for Kentucky, 3 for 13 for Iowa State. Iowa State comes out with a steal. 2-on-1 up the floor. Lipsy scores the layup. There you go for Iowa State. Needed that one. Able to force Kentucky in a turnover. That's what they do best. Points in transition. 9-point game. Colin Chandler, pass midcourt. Pressure defense ramping up now for the Cyclones. Chandler on top finds Garrison. Garrison towards his left around the perimeter. Garrison looking for an open man. Sends it on top to Diabate. Diabate pressured by Lipsy. Diabate, 10 in the shot clock. Takes on Lipsy, the top ball stealer in the Big 12. Push past the wing. Up fake. Cam Williams. Williams shovel pass cross court. Colin Chandler launches a three. Grazed off the rim short. Offensive rebound controlled by Diabate. Going up and he shuts the door with a two-hand slam. Scramble off that rebound, and Iowa State completely lost where the basketball was. Cyclones down by 11. With possession, Lipsy slides it out to the wing. Iowa State takes a three, rattled out. And a foul here. I believe it's on the three-point shot. This will stop the clock. 11:28 left to go in the opening half of action. It's going to send us to the under 12 media break. Man, what a start for Kentucky right now. Just a grind to get anything going on for Iowa State. Yeah, I believe that was on the three-point shot, unless Kentucky got called in the reach before that. But it looked like it was on the three-point shot that there was a foul. Bad case is that Iowa State just can't hit free throws this year. Kentucky comes out firing, comes out drilling. 4 for 6 from the perimeter. Iowa State 0 for 6. Colin Chandler, 2 made threes. 2 made threes by Aberdeen. Yeah, that leadership, a guy who's played 6 tournament games last year, winning a national championship, that's massive. Like, just having that type of leadership in the locker room, because when you get to the tournament, everything's completely different. Erase all the records out, take away all the seeds, anything could happen, and that type of guy who can knock down shots, neutral court environment early on in the game, setting the tone for Kentucky. That's just massive what he's done so far. If you guys are doing the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well if you guys would like to be notified here for future live streams on the channel. Congratulations to Purdue. They're going to the Sweet 16, 79-69 win over Miami this afternoon. Standalone game right now. There's only 2 standalone games. It was the Purdue-Miami one this afternoon. This is a standalone game. And then the games start to ramp up later tonight. St. John's against Kansas at 5:15, followed by Tennessee-Virginia tip-off time at 6:10. Iowa-Florida, that's at 7:10. Utah State-Arizona, that'll tip off at 7:50. I'll be back covering UCLA-UConn. Big-time matchup tonight, 8:45 p.m. And then Texas Tech in a nightcap against Alabama at 9:45. Got some really close lines today. St. John's pulling a 3.5-point favorites. I think St. John's is going to destroy Kansas. Kansas, in the round of 32 last couple of years, they've got obliterated this decade. I remember they got destroyed against USC, Evan and Isaiah Mobley. In the tournament, it was not close. They got completely outplayed. 2 years ago, they got crushed against Gonzaga in the round of 32. So they've had just some really tough times in the tournament. They won the championship in 2022, but after they won the championship, they've got bounced out in the second round consistently. 3 straight years for Kansas. At the free throw line. This is going to be 3 free throws here for Iowa State. First one is good. Number 22 with Milan Momcilovic shooting 3. Second free throw is good. Yeah, still a long way left to go in this game. Not the start that Iowa State needed. 2 for 3 that trip at the free throw line. Third one skipped around the rim and out. Kentucky back with the basketball. Away. On the floor alongside Diabate. And a turnover. Charge to Kentucky. Chandler. Jasper Johnson, number 2, is on the court. And Moreno. Moreno, an illegal screen at midcourt. It's an offensive foul on Kentucky. Yeah, big turnover right now. Iowa State's opportunity to chip right back into it. Kentucky's got 5 turnovers. They're going to be thankful that they're winning this game up by 9. Iowa State yet to have their shots fall. Off the dribble, handoff. Lipsy goes up, no good. A foul, though. That would have been huge for Iowa State if he finished. Very close to a bucket in an and one, but couldn't get it to drop. Away, guilty party picks up the personal. First free throw is missed. This is dreadful for Iowa State. Lipsy bricked it short. Yes, I like the Celtics tonight over the T-Wolves. Celtics red hot this year. Second free throw good. I think Minnesota's back in the number 6 spot for them in the West. I haven't checked the standings last couple of days, but yeah, them and Denver were like back around that 5-6 spot last couple of days for them. It kind of underwhelming for Minnesota. Lakers made a push up to third. Way out of control off the spin move. Right place, right time. Went to his teammate Chandler. Corner 3, no good. Bricked it short. Here goes Iowa State off the long rebound. Run out. And they were fouled again. 2 more shots coming up at the free throw line for the Cyclones. Yeah, Iowa State's going to look to run up the floor when they have those numbers opportunities. That was one of them right there. Now Iowa State starting to get Kentucky to rack up some fouls. At the free throw line again, Lipsy. First one's good. Second free throw, right down the middle. Iowa State start to chip into this. They have a substitution team on Lipsy there. Star player going to check out. Number 27, Killian Torrey on the floor. And Kentucky pressured. They lost the handle. Torrey with a steal. Torrey goes up, double clutch. Got the layup to drop. It's a 4-point game. Kentucky having a tough time with the handle. 7-zip run in the last minute by Iowa State. Jasper Johnson. Past the midcourt logo. Johnson launches the 3 straight away off the rim, no good. That's a terrible possession by Kentucky. Nobody else got a touch. Rebound ripped away by Iowa State. Here come the Cyclones at the wing. Dominic Nelson slides it off to the right wing. Killian Torrey dribbles up right baseline. Torrey on the outside. 1-on-1 takes a Moreno. Top of the key into the hands to Nelson. As they work their way around the perimeter with Heisey. Heisey bounce pass off to Momcilovic. 8 on the timer. Momcilovic, baseline, follow-away jumper, deep 2, connects on it. It's a 2-point game. Milan Momcilovic drills it. Iowa State on a monstrous run right now. 9-zip run in the last minute, 45 seconds. It's another steal by Iowa State. Numbers up the floor. Momcilovic off the back rim, no good. Kentucky rips away the defensive rebound. I took Iowa State in this one in my brackets. Honestly, I said in the pregame, wouldn't shock me if Kentucky does win this game because of the injury to Joshua Jefferson, but if Kentucky is playing like that during that stretch, I don't think they can win this game. Turnovers by Kentucky. You can't do that if you want to hang with Iowa State. Iowa State 9-zip run in the last 2.5 minutes. We got ourselves a ball game. 20-18 now. It's a 2-point game. Here comes Iowa State, starting to force the turnovers. One of the top teams in the country in turnovers forced per game. 7 turnovers now by Kentucky. Yeah, if Iowa State, if they come out, I think it's going to be close right down to the wire. But if Iowa State, if they come out, they dominate the second half, they win this game by double digits, that really shows what this Iowa State team's about in TJ Otzelberger. These guys are tough. Like, that head coach, like, he guides his players with mental toughness. And, like, that early on in the game, they were down. They were just out of it completely. Trailing as many by 12 at one point. They were not in this game. I believe it was 16-4 at one point. And they're only down by 2. and they're 0 for 7 from 3. They're not like that from 3-point range. Like, this team is a team that can flip the switch and start to drill threes. Like, it's constant ball pressure. And they know what they have to do to win this game. And Kentucky's having a tough time keeping the handles going. Iowa State, 11 for 24 from 3 in the first round against Tennessee State. They drilled 14 threes against Arizona in the conference tournament and lost that game. They shot 45% from 3 against Arizona. They've been making double-digit threes on a consistent rate for them. 11 for 29 regular season finale against Arizona State. 10 for 25 conference tournament against Arizona State. They had a game that they shot 7 for 18, still 39% from 3. Didn't attempt that many threes against Texas Tech in the conference tournament. Beat Texas Tech by 22. And then the game that they lost to Arizona by 2 at the buzzer, they went 14 for 31 from 3-point range. This Iowa State team, in 35 games, 14 of those games, they had at least 10 threes. And they're efficient, too, from the perimeter. So this has just been a rare off game for them. 0 for 7 shooting from 3. And despite that, they're only down by 2 right now. Kentucky back with the basketball. Right to left on the floor. Aberdeen. Edge of the midcourt logo. He's hounded by Lipsy. Into the hands to Colin Chandler. On top, off to Moreno. Moreno, 12 in the shot clock. Towards his left around the outside. His pass broken up. Almost intercepted. Moreno got it back. Fires it down low. Bouncing bodies with Yelovich. Yelovich stuck off a triple team. Commits the travel. Turnover again by Kentucky. Iowa State just putting bodies on Kentucky. They drew a triple team on them down low. Too many steps. Iowa State, chance to tie it up with a 2, chance to take the lead with a 3. This whole crowd is going to go crazy if this is a 3-point shot to take the lead. Iowa State, top of the free throw circle. Handoff Lipsy. Lipsy dribbles inside the lane. Lipsy moves it back outside to the perimeter. 8 on the shot clock. Dominic Nelson on top with Buchanan. Into the hands to Momcilovic. Launches from deep off the rim. No good. A rebound secured by Kentucky. Well, that would have just completely made a crowd go crazy there. This game's taking place around 5 hours away from Iowa State's campus in St. Louis. And Iowa State just picked up a reach and foul. Yeah, that was a deep 3. That was like a 30-foot 3 by Momcilovic. Oh, wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I didn't know that. Rising for the jumper. Aberdeen, no good. Brick the 3 off glass. Rebound secure by Iowa State. Up the floor with the Cyclones. Torre. On top, his pass broke it up and held up with his teammate. Reach and foul on Kentucky. That's now 5 as a team for Kentucky this half for personal fouls. Yeah, that's on Colin Chandler. Bumped into Momcilovic trying to come off that screen. Iowa State off the inbounds. Iowa State attacking the rack sword up, and it's another foul on the Wildcats. Lipsy going right to the rim as he was going right after Yelovich, who picked up the personal. 6 fouls now charged to Kentucky. And they're lucky that it's split between 6 different players. Taman Lipsy, 2 shots at the free throw line, 7 points, 3 for 4 today at the free throw line. First free throw, got it. 1-point game. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I'll be back later tonight. UConn against UCLA. Feel free to join in for that one as well. What a tournament so far. I think I picked the best games to cover. Yesterday, Vandy, Nebraska. That was insane. Unfortunate result for Vandy at the end. Somebody put on Twitter that the ball was overinflated for the Vandy-Nebraska game, and that's likely what happened to hurt Vandy yesterday with that 3 going in and out. 11-zip run by Iowa State. Kentucky pressured past midcourt. Denzel Aberdeen, guarded by Bateman, switched to guard by Heisey at the March Madness logo. 12 on the timer. Off the crossover, Aberdeen dribbles up, drives down the lane. Aberdeen hangs up in the air, and he scores up and in off the glass, plus the foul. Humongous bucket to stop the 11-zip run by Iowa State. Denzel Aberdeen right to the rack, scores the 2. And then and one coming up as well at the free throw line once we get back from the timeouts. 22-20. 22-20 with 7:56 left before half. Nate Heisey picked up the personal. Yeah, tough call against Heisey. That last replay didn't really show much contact there. Just drove right up to the rim. Iowa State, right in this game. They just had it tied, and they're shooting way less than Kentucky percentage-wise. Kentucky's 56% from the floor. 4 for 9 from 3. Iowa State is shooting a dreadful 6 for 18, 33%. Yet to get anything going from 3. They're 0 for 8 from the perimeter. Iowa State's in this game because they can force turnovers. 7 points scored off Kentucky turnovers. 8 turnovers by Kentucky. Just 3 turnovers by Iowa State. Just that scrappy defense. They have 4 steals. Denzel Aberdeen, 10 points, 10 minutes. Taman Lipsey leads the way. He's got 9 for the Cyclones. What's good? Tyler the Street, welcome in. Hit us up in the chat who you guys got for this one here, Kentucky or Iowa State. Yeah, Dennis puts out Owe. Looks like his left leg bothering him for Owe. That's big there. Owe's been a non-factor. Owe, 2 points, 11 minutes, 2 turnovers. Yeah, that's something that's going to be monitored. I'll see if there's any updates about that. Yeah, that's not good there if Owe is bothered by some sort of lingering injury. That's their top player. Yeah, he just hasn't looked like himself so far. Yeah, nothing out there about Owe online, what he's lingering with. But yeah, he just does not look like himself. Yeah, gonna be dealing with something. 8 turnovers, 7 of those unforced. Kentucky having a tough time with the basketball. And that's how this Iowa State team is going to beat you. They will beat their opponents by racking up steals. They've done that so far. 4 steals for the Cyclones. Poor shooting percentage. Nevertheless, it's only a 1-possession game. Kentucky in deep foul trouble too. 7 personal fouls by Kentucky, just 4 by Iowa State. Kentucky's going to be at the free throw line here. They scored the layup plus the foul. So Denzel Aberdeen, 1 free throw at the line. He's got 10 points. Free throw bounced out, tipped to the bounds off Yelovich. So it was off Kentucky. Iowa State with possession. Lipsey. Near side corner, dribbles towards his left. Lipsey slides it back on top. Number 27, Killian Torrey. They're going to take a 3 from deep range. That's an air ball. Lipsey tries to save it. Tipped up in the air. Deflected towards the baseline and out. Broke it up out of bounds off Plata of Iowa State. That's just not the shot you want to attempt there. That was Jamarian Bateman, who is way off the mark in that 3. Inbound Kentucky. Colin Chandler. Pass midcourt, defended by Bateman. Into the hands to Garrison. Garrison, bounce pass, kick out, quarter, away, launches the 3. That's not even close, and it sails out of bounds. And it's going to be Iowa State ball. Otega Owe, a wide open, uncontested 3. Stepped right into it, and it came up well short. Taven Lipsey going to take a breather now for Iowa State. He heads to the bench. If Iowa State, if they take the lead here without Lipsey, that is something for them. Taven Lipsey, one of their key players, went to the Sweet 16 a couple of years ago with his team. Top of the free throw circle, Plata. Handoff to number 27, Killian Torrey. Slides it off to Heisey. On top with Torrey once again. Down to 7 minutes left to go in the opening half. Iowa State launches a 3. No good. Off the glass too long. Missed by Torrey. Back it goes to Kentucky. Denzel Aberdeen on the floor alongside Owe, Garrison, Chandler, and Yelovich. Garrison looking to get it off. 15 on the shot clock. Bounce pass Yelovich. He's double teamed. Yelovich trapped in the corner. Yelovich got to get it away. He does with Aberdeen, and Iowa State picks up the reach and foul. Milan Momcilovic is the leading scorer. Their only player that got All-American honors is injured. So Joshua Jefferson, he got injured against Tennessee State, not available for this game, so he's not playing, and he's number 2 in scoring, he's the leading rebounder, and number 2 in assists. And then Lipsey leads the team in assists and steals. So yeah, that's a significant loss for Iowa State without Joshua Jefferson. Nevertheless, it's only a 1-possession game. They were down by 12 early on. They were trailing 16-4. Lob down low. Yelovich off a triple team. Bobbled it, got it back. Tips it off to Chandler. Chandler flings it cross court. Away. 6 in the shot clock. Lob to Garrison. Dribbles back out to the corner. Flings it out to the right wing. Aberdeen launches a 3 off the rim. Short, no good with 1 on the timer. Rebound secured by Iowa State. Here they go. Burst the speed up the floor for the Cyclones. Lipsey back into the ball game. After a 1-minute rest for him, towards his left, finds the roller. Underneath they go up, and a huge rejection as Yelovich comes out with a block and denies the roller to the hoop with number 23, Blake Buchanan. Kentucky back with the basketball. Denzel Aberdeen. Crossover at the wing. Aberdeen hounded 1-on-1, taking on Nate Heisey. Yelovich towards his left and the outside. 12 in the shot clock. Now dribbles towards his right. Yelovich looking to get it away. He does to Chandler. Chandler, 5 of the shot clock. Taking on Buchanan. Now double team over to Garrison. Gonna launch. They do with 1 in the shot clock. Aberdeen off the back rim. No good. A rebound secured by Iowa State. That's now 2 shots in a row that Kentucky has launched a 3 with 1 second on the shot clock. Perfect defense by Iowa State. 3-point shot missed off the rim, short by Lipsey. Solid look by Lipsey, just couldn't make it. 0 for 11 from the perimeter by the number 9 3-point shooting team and 3-point shooting percentage in the country. Hasn't been able to drop anything right now. And despite that, their defense keeping them right in the game, down by just 2. Away. Crossover at the wing. Launches the 3. Otega away. Splashes the triple. Kentucky's got their 3s going. 5th made 3 the afternoon for Kentucky. 5 for 13 from the perimeter. Iowa State will slow it down. Lipsey at the wing. Bounce pass finds Momcilovic. Momcilovic fires. Finally, they got one. Milan Momcilovic from downtown. Back to a 2-point game. First made 3 on their 12th attempt of the afternoon, coming with 4.5 remaining before halftime. Pop it up on a 3. Yelovich. That's an air ball by Kentucky out of bounds. Back to Iowa State. 4:19 left to go. Iowa State's looking to see if they can take the lead. Iowa State has led briefly by 2 just once. Very, very early on in this game. A brief 2-point lead. Iowa State Chance to tie, chance to take the lead right here. Backdoor cutter, they fire a bullet down low. One dribble, perfect position underneath the basket, couldn't score. Excellent defense from behind by Kentucky to force the miss by Moreno. Up the court, bobbled. Kentucky kick out corner in the quarter play. Williams splashes it for Kentucky. What a possession there by Kentucky. That was inches away from being a turnover at the baseline. Able to tip it off a save, and Cam Williams was able to sizzle the three. Taman Lipsy. Torses right around the perimeter. Dribbles up now to the elbow. Lipsy, runner inside the key off the back room. No good. Tipped up. Offensive rebound. Control by Buchanan. Off to number 27, Traore. Kick out. Quarter. Three off the back room. Misfired. Battle for the rebound. Kentucky comes away with it with Muhammad Diabate. Under 3.5 left to go. What a game here. If you're new to the stream, smash the thumbs up. Hit the like. Hit the subscribe. Kentucky with possession. Ortega away. Dribbles up, drives, head full of steam to the rim. No good. He blew an open layup. Rebound out of the pack by Iowa State. Two critical missed points right there. Firing a three. Momcilovic airball. Lipsy no good. Rejected by the bottom part of the backboard off the putback. And Kentucky comes away with possession. Away. Going inside. Away. Tied up. Possession arrow. Stays Wildcats. 2:52 left to go. Media timeout. Ortega away. Blows a layup. It should be a 7-point lead for Kentucky. Instead, it's a 5-point lead. And that's a critical miss layup. Denzel Aberdeen, 10 points. 6 by Chandler. Away with 5. Off the bench, Diabate with 4. Cam Williams, a massive 3. His first 3 of the game. Iowa State led by Taman Lipsy, 9 points. Momcilovic with 7. And then 2 each by Buchanan, Heisey, and Torre. Iowa State, 1 for 14 from 3. This team's been drilling threes left and right this season. Double-digit threes in 13 out of 35 games coming into this one. And having a rare off performance. It's only one half, though. Like, one bad half of basketball. If they can get it together and knock down their shots, they're going to take this one. Hit us up in the chat who you guys like here today, Kentucky or Iowa State. If you're doing the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Feel free to join in later today. I'll be back live for UConn against UCLA at 8:45. Wow, just incredible game. Every single game I've covered's been just amazing. I think I looked at the schedule. I was like, oh yeah, this game's going to be close. This game's going to be close. And all of them I got correct that. They're close games. Had one that went into overtime, Kentucky Santa Clara. One of them determined by a missed 3 from half court, Nebraska Vandy. Louisville, South Florida came down to the wire. UCF made things interesting the final minute against UCLA. What's good, Duffers? Welcome back in. Milan Momcilovic is shooting 49% from 3. Best three-point shooting percentage in NCAA history, minimum 125 attempts. Right now, he's got the lone 3 on the team. He's only 1 for 5 from the perimeter. Gonna need those shots to start dropping. Kentucky off the inbound. They turn it over. Pressured off a double team near side. Front court at Aberdeen. Lost it off his knee out of bounds. Another dreadful possession by Kentucky. That's now 9 turnovers by Kentucky. Kept Iowa State in this game. Iowa State's missed 20 of their last 22 three-point shot attempts in this tournament. They still drilled 11 against Tennessee State. Lipsey, his pass deflected, broke it up out of bounds, and it went off of his teammate Nate Heisey. Turnover, Iowa State. That's unfortunate there for Nate Heisey. Yeah, went off his shoe. Great defensive play there by Mohamed Diabate. Diabate tipped it off the shoe of Heisey and just took the ricochet out of bounds. Kentucky back with the basketball. Oweh. Lob to the elbow. Diabate flings it cross courts. Kentucky dribbles up to the elbow. Low block Moreno. Moreno goes up and fouled. Two free throws at the line for Kentucky with Malachi Moreno. Yeah, one of the players on Tennessee State, their leading scorer, I covered in college for D3 ball. So he initially was a transfer from Worcester State. His sophomore season, Worcester State traveled to play Wheaton, Mass for their men's team. And I'm one of the broadcasters for Wheaton, Mass for D3. And the guy for Tennessee State, Adam Kruma, he went off and had a monster game. Yeah, he did not look like he belonged in D3. And then later that year, he won MASCAC Player of the Year in the conference that Worcester State competes in. And then eventually he transferred over to the OVC where Tennessee State competes in. So he went from D3 to D1. 3 seconds on the timer. Momcilovic turnaround shots. No good. Bounced off the rim and tipped around. And the battle for the basketball. Offensive rebound controlled by Momcilovic. Dribbles out to the corner with a three. He's got it. That's huge. 30-26. Previous to that, Kentucky buried both of the free throws. And Kentucky attacking baseline. They soar up and dunk it. No, it's not going to count. It's a turnover on Kentucky. So Kentucky charged with a turnover out of bounds. Couldn't keep their foot in the court of play there by Cam Williams. So they dunked it home, but their back foot was out of bounds before they dunked it off the baseline dribble. 10th turnover to game. They averaged 10.5 turnovers per game for Kentucky. Iowa State only down by 4. Lipsey at the top of the key. And to the hands to number 11, Dominic Nelson. Nelson slides it off to Dominicus Plata. Plata backs his way, showing patience. Working on Moreno. Bounce pass. Drops it off down low. Flings in a shot. Draws the contact and the foul. 2 free throws coming up here for Iowa State with Nate Heisey. Iowa State is right in this game. 1 minute left to go. They are shooting dreadful at the line, but they're right in it. Winner of this game will take on the winner of Virginia versus Tennessee. First free throw, no good by Nate Heisey. Second free throw is good. Brandon Garrison checks back on the floor for Kentucky. Kentucky 80-78 victory over Tennessee at Tennessee January 17th. Kentucky won again against Tennessee 74-71 on February 7th. So 2-0 this season for Kentucky against Tennessee. Final minute left to play before halftime. Colin Chandler out to the far side corner. Denzel Aberdeen lost the handle, turns it over. Iowa State down by 3 with possession up the floor. They dribble baseline to the rack, put it up the shots, and again they get fouled. 2 free throws coming up once again at the line for Iowa State. It's on to Aberdeen, who picks up the personal foul. Start to rack up right now for Kentucky. Denzel Aberdeen now with his second personal foul. So 2 fouls each by Moreno and Aberdeen for Kentucky. Number 11 for Iowa State, Dominic Nelson at the free throw line shooting 2. First shot's good. Dominicus Plata, he's going to check out right now on the bench. Second free throw by Iowa State. No good. Missed off the back rim. Tipped up and into the hands to Garrison for the defensive board. 7-second differential. Shot clock and game clock going into halftime. Denzel Aberdeen. Bounce pass top of the key. Garrison. His pass broken up. Intercepted by Iowa State. And Iowa State can hold it here for the final possession. Taman Lipsey. Crosses midcourt, 15 seconds left to go. 12 turnovers by Kentucky this first half. Only 4 turnovers by the Cyclones. Top of the key, Lipsey. Lipsey dribbles, drives, kick, corner, 3, Heisey, kaboom! He drills it. Iowa State down for 98% of the opening half. Takes the lead. They got all the momentum entering half 2. Drive, kick, corner, 3, Lipsey off to Heisey. Cans in the triple. What a possession for Iowa State to close the first half on. Trailing throughout basically the entire opening half. And finally a couple threes start to drop. Only 3 for 16 from the perimeter. But that is a huge confidence boost for this team. The only guy that drilled a 3 was Momcilovic till that point in the final seconds. And now they have their second guy who's buried a 3 today. Humongous 3 for Iowa State. Iowa State playing their game by forcing turnovers. And if their 3s start to drop, then watch out. Because they're going to just go on a tear in the second half. And that's what they were missing, was their 3-point shot making. They usually don't shoot the ball this terrible. They're having an off game in the first half shooting. And looks like they finally awoken right now for the Cyclones. If you're new to the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. What a game so far we got here. Feel free to hit us up in the chat who you guys like to win, Kentucky or Iowa State. That's a huge shot. Momcilovic with 10 going into half. Lipsey with 9. Lipsey has 4 steals. That's been a difference in the game. One team taking care of the basketball, other team struggling mightily with the ball pressure being displayed. Nate Heisey up to 6 with that made 3. Kentucky led by Denzel Aberdeen with 10. Owe is having a tough time. Yeah, Owe is going to get going. If Kentucky wins this game, you can thank Owe for a big second half. 5 points ain't going to cut it. Otega Owe, 5 points going into halftime. Colin Chandler with 6. 4 by Diabate off the bench. Cam Williams with a 3. But just way too many turnovers. And Kentucky in some bad shape as well with their fouls. 2 personal fouls each by Moreno and Aberdeen. Aberdeen's been the key player. Aberdeen's leading the team right now with 10 points. He's got 2 fouls, so if they come out, if they rack up some more fouls, if Aberdeen picks up a third, like early on, gonna be tough. Rebounds even, 18 even. Offensive boards going to Iowa State, though, 7-2. That's because they were missing a ton in the first half for them. Iowa State's leading this game. They're shooting 29% from the floor. They're leading this game on just 9 for 31 shooting, 10 for 15 at the free throw line. Yeah, Iowa State's just going to the rack, dribble drive penetration, getting a ton of contact, getting the calls. Issue for them, they're just not a great free throw shooting team. Their numbers spot on at the free throw line, how their season's been. 67% at the free throw line. That's what their seasons look like. Around that ballpark range, 67% as a team. So they're just not a good free throw shooting team. Kind of odd that what they are good at with 3-point shot making, they just haven't been able to get. And yeah, it's these types of games that the lid just isn't generous. It's been that type of first half, but a huge confidence boost for them coming out, making that corner three. That's a big-time confidence boost there. Yeah, usually the refs usually officiate like more physical in the tournament. So that tends to help out teams like Iowa State's one of these teams, like scrappy defensive units, like an Iowa State team or a Houston. They usually benefit from tournament-style play with the officiating because they usually allow that physicality to happen. Yeah, that's why sports can be so cruel, because it can come down to one big call in the game, or multiple calls that the team gets screwed by officiating. That's why it's brutal if you got money on these games and things like that. It doesn't go your way, especially with like the officiating and stuff like that. Like it's tough. Yeah, Kentucky's got their shot making going on from the perimeter for them. That's one thing that's helped out them. 40% from three so far. Just got to take care of the basketball. And Owe just doesn't look like himself. He's got shots coming up short. Yeah, that was brutal yesterday. For the people that like bet on Vandy to win that game yesterday, and they lost in a half-court 3 that spud out. That's just brutal. That's why sports is just so cruel, and at the same time, it's just so magical for teams that make history, like Nebraska. And just so cruel for Tyler Tanner and Vandy. I mean, he had a tremendous performance yesterday. He had 27 points. If that goes in, he has 30. Unfortunate way to end that game for Vandy. Jasper Johnson's played 2 minutes so far. So Kentucky's gone with a 9-man rotation. Somebody posted on Twitter that the ball was overinflated in that game yesterday, and that likely hurt Vandy's chances of winning on that shot. Hey, what's good? Cody, welcome in. Doing pretty well. A lot of my teams still in. Haven't really got any of my teams that's like going deep knocked out yet, so that's pretty good. Yeah, Texas making it to the Sweet 16, though. That was stunning to me. Actually had Gonzaga. I had Gonzaga over BYU in my bracket for that. But yeah, BYU lost to Texas. Gonzaga lost to Texas. Wow, two perfect brackets still left. Oh, wow. Yeah, crazy upsets. High Point. Man, what a tournament for High Point. They come out, beat Wisconsin, head-to-head against Arkansas, right to the end. Could have put the brake could have put the brake slide up, and be back just a moment. Ooh. Ooh. Damn. All right. Yeah, I had to get myself some more water. Break it up a little bit, but I'm fine. Everything's okay. Yeah, I kind of felt a little dry, dehydrated a little bit, but started to get myself a drink here. Yeah, right now at halftime, 31-30, Iowa State up by 1. Ice Ice Baby with the dono. Really appreciate with the dono. Let's get that big shout out here for Ice Ice Baby. You the legend on the channel. Legendary. With a 20 there for Ice Ice Baby. Absolute legend. Oh, man. Sorry to hear that, Cody. Yeah, first 2 days of the year for March Madness. Just, oh, man. Just, what a time. I remember when I was in high school, like, Me and my friends were all watching on an iPad during one of our classes. Yeah, one time, when I had baseball practice, we all stopped practice and we were told that Florida Gulf Coast had just knocked off Georgetown. So that happened in the middle of my baseball practice during high school. Yeah, same thing, Christian. Welcome back in, man. I got Arizona as well. I just think that Arizona is just super balanced. Like, you don't see too many teams nowadays of 7 guys averaging double figures, or 7 guys like near double figures scoring. They have they have 7 guys averaging at least 9 points per game. Really deep team, tons of size, physical team, just so balanced for Arizona. It's gonna be cold this week, I heard. Wow, best of luck for baseball for Jeffrey coming up. Yeah, it's going to be chilly. I heard potentially snow tomorrow, possibly. Yeah, my bracket isn't that bad so far. So a lot of teams I have still in the bracket. I think it's around like 69% or so, so it's not terrible. Yeah, the Texas one really hurt me. Did not have them going to the Sweet 16. I also had Vandy going to the Sweet 16. Yeah, that was shocking last night. Props to Nebraska for winning that game. I did not think 4 minutes left, deep foul trouble. I did not think that Nebraska was going to win that game. They were down by 4, I think, with 4 minutes left. And then Nebraska switched to the zone defense, completely locked up Vandy. Vandy went cold. And then Nebraska would just clutch plays down the stretch. They had that, huge coast-to-coast layup for them to take the lead. Out of a Nebraska team that had been, like, slower tempo. For them, they just pushed it up the floor. Vandy couldn't get back. Massive layup, 2 seconds left, and then... Yeah, unfortunate on the 3 there for Vandy. Wow. So, KD Files, congrats out to him right there. He had Texas. Yeah, crazy thing about that is that Texas almost stumbled in the play-in. Like, they were up by 9 with like a minute 40 left. NC State came back, and Texas had a tough time inbounding. And then, yeah, Tremont Mark hit that shot with a second left to go. The tournament experience is so key. Tremont Mark, he's a guy who played at Houston. Then he transferred to Arkansas, so he's got a lot of tournament experience. Jordan Pope's been a clutch shot maker for them. And Dalen Swain was their best player all season long. So, like, guys stepped up throughout the tournament. Denzel Aberdeen's a guy in Kentucky who's got experience. And then this Iowa State team, this is, like, one of the very few teams that, like, roster consistency has been a key. These guys have been playing for years. Momcilovic, Lipsy. A lot of these guys together for years. Kind of similar to Purdue. Braden Smith, Fletcher Lawyer, Trey Kaufman, Wren. Those guys have been playing for years together. Just a lot of roster consistency. A bunch of other programs. It's just like transfers in, transfers out. 1 year here, 1 year there. Like completely different revamped rosters. All right, couple minutes before you start the second half. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. What a game here we got. Iowa State was trailing basically the entire first half. What's cool on ESPN, they got some like percentage that it says percent led. Wow, it seems like it was like 98% that Kentucky led. 88% Kentucky led, according to ESPN, in the first half. And Iowa State with a corner three right before the buzzer to take the first lead in a long time for them. Largest lead was by 2 for Iowa State. Kentucky held on to a 12-point lead at one point. Yes, I got Iowa State in my bracket winning this one. I said in the pregame that wouldn't shock me if Kentucky wins it because of a key player's out, Joshua Jefferson not playing for Iowa State, but that Iowa State's got the momentum right now. And Kentucky having a lot of difficulty handling the basketball. A lot of just unforced errors for them. Do I think Hubert Davis is going to be fired at UNC? He'll probably get another year. That's because Caleb Wilson didn't play for the tournament. So yeah, he'll probably get another year. If that loss happened with Wilson, he would have been fired, but he's probably going to get the pass on that. And then next year will be the determining year. Yeah, it's going to be a giant killer if Duke goes down. Like, if Duke gets upset in the Sweet 16, Elite 8, that would be a giant killer. Duke's got St. John's, Kansas, winner of that game. And then after that, if Duke beats the winner of St. John's, Kansas, Duke would face either Michigan State or UCLA, UConn winner. Whoever wins this game will face the winner of Tennessee, Virginia. Yeah, big difference in this game's been turnovers. 12 turnovers by Kentucky, 4 turnovers by Iowa State. 12 to 8 points off turnovers in favor of Iowa State. Huge discrepancy at the free throw line. 10 for 15 by Iowa State at the free throw line. Kentucky only 2 trips this entire game, going 2 for 3 at the free throw line. And Kentucky shooting extremely well. 48% for the floor. Iowa State with a lead despite 29%. That's because they've turned over Kentucky just so many times. Yeah, seesaw of a year for Kentucky. Like up and down, up and down. Just inconsistent this year. Here we go. We get back to action. Iowa State right to left on the floor. White jerseys. Maroon numbers, maroon letters, yellow outline for the Cyclones off the opening possession. Nate Heisey backs his way inside the key. Push pass corner. Lipsy, right baseline dribble off the crossover. Step back 3 in the air over Moreno. Splash. Iowa State in a groove right now. 34-30. All the momentum with that 3 going into halftime. They pick off where they left off, sizzling a corner triple. Denzel Aberdeen on the court alongside Owe, Yelovich, Chandler, and Moreno to start the second half for Kentucky. Owe, high off the glass, got the run of their drop up and in off the backboard. Big bucket there for Otega Owe. Taman Lipsy on the floor alongside Killian Torre, Nate Heisey, number 23, Blake Buchanan. Corner jumper, no good off the mark, missed by Torre. Rebound, secure by Yelovich. And the 5th player on the floor is Momcilovic for Iowa State. Runner again, this time off the back rim in the key, missed by Aberdeen. Rebound, secure by Buchanan. First minute of action in the second half. Iowa State with possession. Momcilovic on the outside into the hands to Buchanan. Buchanan towards his left, finds Nate Heisey. Heisey off the dribble curl. Heisey bumped into. Heisey gets fouled. It's on Owe who picks up the reach-in. That's going to be the second personal foul now charged to Otega Owe. Iowa State gets the inbound. On top, Momcilovic drives inside the key. A runner bounces in. Iowa State right now finding their groove. Momcilovic double figures. He's got 12. Away. At the wing. Takes on Momcilovic. Deep 2 baseline jumper. That's a tough shot. No good off the rim short. Really difficult shot. Falling away. Near side baseline. Iowa State takes a corner 3 off the mark. No good. Missed by Heisey. Rebound. Secure by Oweh. Oweh. 18 minutes left to play. Otega Oweh drives, lost the handle, turns it over. Iowa State up the floor, and they had a 3-on-1 fast break in Kentucky with Oweh commits the foul. And that saved an easy 2 off the fast break transition, and Oweh picks up another personal foul. Gotta keep the handles alive if you're Kentucky. It's the only way that they're going to win this game. And now Oweh, their leading scorer, has to substitute out. So that's now 3 fouls on Otega Oweh. 2 quick fouls to begin the second half on Oweh. Lipsey turns the corner off the curl, lobs it up over the top, looking for the alley-oop slam. It got denied at the rim was Buchanan. Huge block there by Moreno. Aberdeen dribbles up inside the key. Aberdeen shovels out to the corner, deflected. Intercepted by Iowa State. They couldn't keep it in the court of play, though, as they gave it away. Cam Williams, bounce pass underneath. Yelovich puts in a shot. He scores inside a low block for 2. Big basket there for Big Blue. 2-point game. Top of the key with a Blake Buchanan. Towards his right, hand off to Heisey. Heisey inside the key. Outside off to Lipsey. Lipsey 1-on-1 around the perimeter. Takes on Aberdeen. Height stops on a dime. Pops up for the triple. He's got it. Taman Lipsey. A straightaway bullet from the perimeter. 5-point lead for Iowa State. All of a sudden, they are getting their threes to drop. Largest lead today, up by 5. Kentucky in trouble. Moreno pressured on the top. Hand off to Aberdeen. Aberdeen attacks the rim. Left it short, no good. Putback chance by Moreno, no good. But he was fouled, and 2 free throws at the line coming up for Kentucky. Down to 16:44 left to go. Yeah, this is just all over the place by Kentucky. They had a 12-point lead in this game. You just never know what you could get. Like, some of these Blue Bloods this year, it's just up and down, up and down. Kansas, yeah, completely a roller coaster type of team this year for that team as well. They allowed Cal Baptist to get back into the game after trailing by 26. First shot good at the line for Moreno. Second free throw for Kentucky by Malachi Moreno. Got the roll. Iowa State pass midcourt. Jamarian Bateman on the floor. Dominicus Plata at the top. And Kentucky with another personal foul, reaching in charge to Colin Chandler. Yeah, this has been one of the worst Kentucky teams. The year, I think, was coming out of COVID. The 2021 team that was not close to making the tournament. That was, yeah, probably the worst team. Yeah, that's probably the worst team in a long time for them. Colin Chandler just shoved an Iowa State player from behind, just picked up his 3rd foul. Spin cycle inside the key. Momcilovic going up, gets fouled. This is getting out of control here with the Kentucky fouls. 5 now by Kentucky. That was clearly a shooting foul. And that was on the Aberdeen. Yeah, these are clearly fouls by Kentucky. I know at halftime a lot of people weren't happy about like the free throw shooting discrepancy, but yeah, these were easy calls by the officials, the last, previous 3 calls. First one is good by Momcilovic. Hey, what's good? Ronald on the stream. Welcome in, man. Second free throw is good. Momcilovic able to bury them both. 5-point lead again for Iowa State. 3 fouls each by Aberdeen, Oweh, and Chandler. That's not a good sign with their top 3 Backcourt guys are in some deep foul trouble. Aberdeen on the floor with those 3 fouls. Sends it off to the corner, into the hands to Cam Williams. Williams off the spin move. Double team. He is pressured. Williams trapped. Williams gets it away. And Iowa State gets called on the reach-in foul. That was dangerous there by Kentucky. And luckily for Kentucky, it was Nate Heisey who picked up the reach-in. That was very close to being an additional turnover. Kentucky underneath the hoop inbounds. Goes over to Moreno. Moreno, baseline dribble. Moreno trapped underneath, and he is fouled. Yeah, Iowa State not happy about the call. They were trying to get the tie up. And TJ Otzelberger talking to the official right now. He thought it was clearly a tie-up, that they tied up Moreno. And we're going to go to under 16 minutes left. We reached the media break. So, media timeout, 15:57 left to go. Back-to-back fouls by Iowa State. Yeah, 5 fouls for Kentucky. And some pretty obvious ones the last few minutes. I don't see a challenge signal yet from Iowa State. Otzelberger was talking to the official at the previous call. Yeah, Iowa State struggled from 3. They were well off from 3. They started off at 0 for 11. 0 for 11 from 3. Ever since they're 5 for 9 from 3. Like, all the momentum in this game is for Iowa State. Kentucky's in some severe foul trouble right now. Owe, Aberdeen, and Chandler each with 3. 2 fouls by Moreno. I was stunned yesterday when Nebraska came back. They were in some severe foul trouble last night with 4 minutes left. They came back and they beat Vandy. And it looked like Nebraska was dead in the water. Yeah, so just a TV timeout. Iowa State. I don't think they... Doesn't say anything in the box that they wanted to challenge it. I think they were thinking about challenging that previous foul to see if they could get it to be a tie-up, but... It's going to stay Iowa State foul. So come back to action right now. 15:57 left to go. And 2 free throws here at the line for Kentucky. So Malachi Moreno with 2 shots. First free throw, no good. Left it short. Second free throw, that's no good as well. Rounded out. Iowa State collects the rebound. Taman Lipsey dribbles up inside the key. Lipsey with the right hand. That gets swatted off the glass. That's a goaltend. 2 more points for Iowa State. Yeah, over the cylinder. And then swatted off the backboard glass by Moreno as the refs count it. 43-36, 7-point lead Iowa State, largest lead of the game for the Cyclones. Kentucky's in deep trouble. Kentucky attacking the rack, going up. They draw the contact and the foul. 2 shots here coming at the free throw line for Aberdeen. Man, this is choppy right now. 4 fouls by Iowa State, 5 by Kentucky in the second half. Just no rhythm at all. Denzel Aberdeen, 2 free throws at the line. First one's good. Second free throw is good. Taman Lipsy. Pass midcourt. Sees defended by Aberdeen. Gets around him. Has an open player off the roll down and fired a pass too high. It's out of bounds. And tough decision making right there by Lipsy. Had a roller straight to the hoop with Dominicus Plata just wide open. He just couldn't convert on the lob pass. That's now turnover number 6 today for Iowa State. Kentucky with 14. Kentucky with the basketball. 5-point game. Pass midcourt with Aberdeen. Aberdeen off the screen set by Diabate. Aberdeen switch defended by Heisey around the perimeter. Aberdeen's got 15 on the shot clock. Aberdeen off the crossover. A lot of dribbling going on right now. Aberdeen slides it off to his left. Cam Williams jacks up the 3. No good off the back rim. A rebound secured by Momcilovic. And Iowa State will slow it down. 15 minutes even. Momcilovic towards his left. Cross court off to Heisey. Heisey dribbles up. Kick out to the wing. Up fake Bateman. Bateman drives. Attacks the rack. Sweeps around. No good. Offensive rebound. Putback chance going up. And according to the refs, Dominicus Plata was fouled. 2 free throws coming up in the line for Plata of Iowa State. Joanne, welcome back in. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, that's a tough call going against Kentucky. Yeah, not really much there. Not really much there. They couldn't let them play on. Plata had left it short off the putback, too. This is being looked at right now at the monitor. 43-38. That's the score I've got now. 45-38 is what the box has on ESPN. That might have got called basket interference by Kentucky. There was a touch by Kentucky's defender at the net, so this is being looked at the monitor. This might be a foul and 1 coming up. So right now, I'm going to keep it as 43-38. This might be 45-38 if the call gets confirmed as basket interference by Kentucky, plus a foul as well. And if Iowa State makes that free throw, plus if this basket gets counted, then instead it's 46-38 instead of 43-38 if it gets wiped away, and then they go empty at the line. So yeah, huge call right now on the floor. Huge call. Down to 14:49 left. I think it depends on who that foul gets called on. If that's on Chandler, as Chandler got the hold of the left arm, then wipe away to 2, then 2 shots. But if they're going to call it on the big of Kentucky, he was out in front, as Kentucky is challenging this call, then there was defensive basket interference, scored a bucket plus the foul. So huge call right now. I'm not going to change it to a 45 until it gets confirmed if it is a 45. Hey, what's good, Ian? Welcome back in. Hope all is going well out in Arkansas right now for you. Awesome, man. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Feel free to come on back later tonight. I'm hoping to be back live for UConn versus UCLA later tonight. So feel free to join in if you guys would like. Hey, what's good, Arkansas boy, country boy? Yeah, Kentucky's challenging this call on the floor, and according to the ESPN box here, it says Kentucky coaches challenge, call overturned, Kentucky wins the call, retains their timeout. So, yep, it's 43-38. So, 43-38, Kentucky wins the challenge. So, it was after the whistle, there was defensive basket interference, but it happened after... Yeah, after the whistle. And Plata will have 2 free throws at the line for Iowa State. 2 shots by Plata. First one missed poorly. Yeah, this is not a bad idea for Kentucky to put this Iowa State team at the free throw line. The thing is that Kentucky's in deep foul trouble. Iowa State is just not a good free throw shooting team. Like, if they're racking up fouls like the ones that they had been doing, like the reach-and fouls and stuff like that, then those are tough calls for them. But the shooting fouls, Iowa State's not a great team at the free throw line. Right now, they're basically hitting their season average. They're shooting 14 for 20 today at the free throw line. Under 15 minutes left to go. Kentucky with a possession. Denzel Aberdeen. Bounce pass top of the key to Moreno. Moreno moves it over to Diabate. Diabate, top of the free throw circle. Diabate off the jab step. Diabate dribbles. Got stuck. Lost it. Tied up. Possession stays Kentucky. This Iowa State defense, they're just so scrappy. Man, everybody just swarms and pressures the basketball. It's going to be an inbound underneath the basket here for Kentucky. Cam Williams, the inbound passer, looking for an open man. Nobody can get open. That's too much time. That's a 5-second call. Brutal for Kentucky. 5-second inbound violation. Nobody could get open. Nobody was even moving. Turnover Kentucky. Iowa State has it. If Iowa State drills a shot here, this is not looking so hot for Kentucky. Lipsy at the elbow. Lobs it up over the top. It's a 2-hand alley-oop jam by Blake Buchanan. Iowa State with all the momentum. 46-38. Approaching the 14-minute mark left to go. Kentucky's in hot water. They're in deep in trouble right now. Denzel Aberdeen at the top of the key as he takes on Blake Buchanan one-on-one. A lot of dribbling going on for Kentucky. Aberdeen, lob down low, bobbled pass on a bounce off Iowa State. Lucky for Kentucky there. That was very close to being an additional turnover. Iowa State without their top player today, All-American Joshua Jefferson, injured in the opening round against Tennessee State. Jumper deep two, got it. Really needed that one by their star player. Able to nail the J with a take it away. Iowa State with the ball. 6-point game, under 14 minutes left. Taman Lipsy at the wing into the hands to Bateman. Cross court over to Heisey. Heisey, 15 in the shot clock, finds Buchanan at the top. Over to Lipsy once again. Lipsy, 12 on the timer. Lipsy torses right off the dribble. Lipsy slithers defenders. No good. Missed a runner. Tip-in chance. No good. Batted out to the perimeter. And a long rebound controlled by Owe. Owe drives, attacks, downhill to the cup. No good. Hang it up. And a putback chance was off the fingertips of Moreno. They couldn't get either one a drop, going 0 for 2 that trip. Iowa State back with possession. Cyclones baseline dribble, shooting right out of a cannon, and they lay it up and in with Killian Torrey. 8-point lead for the Cyclones. Killian Torrey attacking the rim right there with a deuce. Kentucky in hot water, down by 8. And they will burn a timeout. 12:48 left to go. Iowa State. Big time performance right now in half 2 out of the Cyclones. Really start to turn the Jets up. Man, this has been impressive for Iowa State. If this Iowa State team comes out, they pick up a double-digit win over Kentucky. I mean, the motivation, what this does for this program without their top player, Joshua Jefferson. I mean, the team character, the motivation it does. This, if they come out, win by double digits, like these guys got all the confidence in the world going into their Sweet 16 matchup, the winner of Tennessee versus Virginia. Especially if Iowa State draws Tennessee, then Kentucky went 2-0 against Tennessee in the regular season. Like, this is a huge confidence booster right now for Iowa State that they're playing. They're up by 8. They haven't shot the 3 well at all this entire game. They're 5 for 20 from 3. And despite that, they've forced 15 turnovers. And those turnovers forced have decided the outcome of this game now. Kentucky off the inbound. Brandon Garrison. Hand off to Aberdeen at the wing with Oweh. Oweh's going to have to step up to have a shot here for a comeback. Cam Williams, 8 on the shot clock, finds Aberdeen, top of the key, 5 of the timer. Sends it off to the corner, Oweh. Oweh dribbles up baseline. Oweh stumbles off the dribble, bumped into and fouled. Clock will stop, 12:31 left to go. Iowa State now with 5 personal fouls. Kentucky with 6. Kentucky had five fouls in the first 3 minutes to begin this half. Inbound to the corner. Off to Aberdeen. Deep jumper, no good off the mark. In and out. Off the fingertips of Garrison. He secures the offensive rebound, though. Out to the wing, Cam Williams. Bounce pass, threads the needle underneath Diabate. His pass got sail wide, deflected. Up in the air, goes over to Lipsey as Lipsey takes it in for 2. Double-digit lead for ISU. Terrible possession for Kentucky. You're better off just letting the basketball go out of bounds instead of deflecting it into the backcourt with a leading ball stealer in the Big 12. Goes off a long steal and takes it in for an easy layup. Kentucky slithering down the lane. Away. Oh, he lost the handle. He turned it over. 4-on-2 up the floor to the rim. They score. Count it. And the and-1 coming up at the free throw line by Iowa State. Nate Heisey, steal bucket. Cyclones getting closer to the Sweet 16. It's a turnover fest in this matchup in St. Louis. Kentucky with a plethora of turnovers. 17 turnovers for Kentucky. 2 consecutive turnovers leading to 2 straight buckets. This Iowa State team is built of dogs. Man, they are hounding Kentucky consistently. Just built different. Taman Lipsey, 5 steals. Momcilovic, Torre, 2 steals. Best player is out. Double-digit lead. Simply impressive what Iowa State's doing. The culture of this team, consistent, upper-class players that's been with the roster, 3-4-year players, and so much consistency. And it's helped out some of these teams get to the Sweet 16. Purdue, Braden Smith, Fletcher Lawyer, Trey Kaufman, Wren, roster consistency. Iowa State, Taman Lipsey, Milan Momcilovic. These guys playing together for a long time. Roster consistency. Team chemistry. Man, Kentucky just flustered right now. Sped up and not knowing what to do when Iowa State brings the double team. So many turnovers. 17 turnovers. Taman Lipsey, one of the top ball stealers in the country. He's got 5 steals. Some really just bad decision-making going on with Kentucky. Like, there was a pass they sent well wide that they deflected it into the backcourt. Lipsey came off on the runouts and collected the steal and led to the easy layup. Fast break points are 8-2. Seems like it's a whole lot more for Iowa State for fast break points. Like when Iowa State was trailing by 2, when it was 22-20, and Iowa State was 1 for 14 from 3, like, you know that Iowa State was due for a comeback. Iowa State's number 9 in the nation in three-point shooting percentage. And they just had a rare off first half from 3 for them. They couldn't make a 3 to save their lives in the first half. And here they are, half number 2. Burying a couple 3s to start off. And then recently, it's been all steals. It's been numbers transition plays. Kentucky constantly coughing up the basketball. Kentucky in deep foul trouble. The odds are highly stacked against Kentucky right now to make a comeback. And there's also a free throw, too, to go along with this. Iowa State has outscored Kentucky 29-10 in the final 90 seconds of the first half, plus the second half. Free throw is missed at the line for Heisey. Rebound Kentucky, and Kentucky can't be walking it up like they are right now. Just too much time coming off the clock. 17 turnovers today. That's the most turnovers in the previous 54 games for Kentucky. Bounce pass goes to the low block. They're double teamed down low. They put up the shot and get fouled. Garrison, 2 free throws at the line as the personal foul is charged to Blake Buchanan. Man, these are grown men out here. Like, this incredible culture that Iowa State has as a program. TJ Otzelberger, Big 12, Houston Cougars, Kelvin Sampson. Like, when you play against those two teams for, like, the last, 5 years or so, Houston and Iowa State, you're going up against grown men. Second free throw is good by Garrison. He bricked the first. 11.5 left to go. Nate Heisey picked up his third for foul. So that was his third on him for ISU. Iowa State will slow it down. Taman Lipsey, edge of the March Madness logo, into the hands to Heisey. Off to Momcilovic. Back outside to the wing to Lipsey. Lipsey towards his right off the dribble. Takes on Garrison. Slides it over to Torre. Out to the hands of Lipsey. Torre, 5 at the shot clock. Torre drives, spin cycle, torpedo to the rim. Oh, going like a cyclone to the rack right there for Killian Torre. Whip around the whirly there. Killian Torre, an insane spin cycle. Garrison kick out corner. Not even close. It's a turnover. 10:47 left to go. Kentucky is rushing everything. An easy push past the corner, and they miss wide and away out of bounds. Iowa State chance to slow down clock once again. An incredible possession took the shot clock, winning single digits when they scored the previous bucket. Top of the free throw circle with Buchanan. Fires a lob down low, up fake, underneath, they score. Up and off the backboard, good for 2 more by Torre. 15-point lead right now for the Cyclones. And Kentucky will burn a timeout. Killian Torre, an absolute animal on the floor. Taking over this game right now for the Cyclones. Man, body language does not look good for Kentucky. 25-11, second half advantage for Iowa State. 19 by Taman Lipsey. He's up to 4 assists, 5 steals. 14 by Momcilovic. Torre with 8 now. Back-to-back buckets by Torre. Buchanan with 5. Denzel Aberdeen with 12. Otega Owe having a difficult game. 9.4 turnovers by Owe. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Ring the notification bell as well if you'd like to be notified for future live streams on the channel. 10-1 run by Iowa State. In the last 2.5 plus minutes, Iowa State almost came up with a 6 steal by Lipsey. Deflected it out of bounds, though. Lipsey read that pass perfectly. Just a lazy pass by Garrison. Almost jumped the route for his 6th steal. 15-point game. Kentucky walks it up the floor, trailing by 15. Gotta go. Aberdeen dribbles up off the jump stop low block. Double team bobbled it. Aberdeen, he's stuck. Aberdeen got it ripped away. Lipsey with his 6th steal. That was with excellent help defense off the double team by Buchanan. 3 out the wing. Momcilovic got it. Bang! Bang! Milan Momcilovic lets it rain from downtown. 19 turnovers now for Kentucky. Garrison at the elbow. Garrison, handoff, Cam Williams. Into the hands to Owe. Owe, too much time coming off the clock. 12 of the shot clock. Owe playing iso ball. Owe, dribbling runner, got it. Inside, it was good for 2 by Owe. Under 9.5 left to go. Attack of the rack. Heisey, right to the rim. He scores. Up and off the backboard. 61-43. 18-point lead once again, just like that. Kentucky walks up the floor. Aberdeen, a deep range three from the parking lot. No good off the mark. Missed the 28-footer. Long rebound control by Owe. He dunks it. Huge offensive rebound and slam dunk by Owe. Iowa State once again will slow it down. As we're down to under 9 minutes left to go in regulation. Taman Lipsey. Defended on the outside by Cam Williams. Edge in the midcourt logo. Swings it off to Momcilovic. He is red hot from the perimeter. Last couple of shots. Momcilovic backs his way to the elbow. Milan backs his way inside. A key 1-on-1. Patient possession. Dish outside of Lipsey. Lipsey drives. Follow a jumper. Low block. He got it. Cha-ching. Taman Lipsey. Good for 2. 18-point lead again for Iowa State. Kentucky gonna walk it up the floor. You gotta go. You're down to 8:20 left to play. Too much time coming off the shot clock right here as they get into their set. Oh, a push pass deflected. Got the ball off to Chandler off the ricochet, and Chandler bricked the 3 off the back rim. Rebound by Iowa State. Iowa State will take some more time off the clock. Part of a 37-15 run by Iowa State. Iowa State, they are built of dogs. As tough as nails. Top of the key, Lipsey. Into the hands to Heisey. Baseline dribble. Circles around. Back outside. Momcilovic. 6 in the timer. Momcilovic. He is open. Pops up for a 3. Skipped around the rim and out. Huge foul call. As a player goes down. Hits the deck hard and gets knocked out. Injury timeout. Killian Torre is knocked out. As the medical staff come over to treat Torre ASAP. Prayers for Killian Torre. Just hit the deck head first hard. Foul on the over the back charge to Owe off the rebound. We head over to the timeout immediately. Prayers up for that young man. Going up for the rebounds. Fell down hard on his head. For Killian Torre. Got a feel for that man right there. Completely got knocked out. I hope he can get back up. And I hope that he can play. That looks terrible. Terrible. Killian Torre. Eyes closed. Went down hard. Damn. Prayers up for that young man. Let's get that prayer emoji out in the chat here. For Torre. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. And I'll be back later tonight covering UCLA against UConn. Feel free to join in if you guys would like for that one. If you're just joining in, Kentucky led 16-4. They're by 12 at one point in the game. And Iowa State leads by 18. 30-point swing right now. Iowa State just total domination in the final last minute of the first half. Had all the momentum off that corner 3 they drilled going into halftime into the second half. And usually the teams that advance far in the tournament, those are the teams that take care of the basketball. The teams that get eliminated usually on, or like early on, those are the teams that have difficult time taking control of the basketball. And right now, 19 turnovers by Kentucky. Just this Iowa State team's a defensive force. Just so scrappy. Yeah, they haven't really been able to see an opponent like this this year. We're just they pressure the basketball constantly. Killian Torrey, the player who went down for Iowa State. Oh, man, that's a great sign to see. Torrey just came in jogging to the huddle. He's up. He's okay. Torrey is back up on his feet. That's huge for Iowa State. Torrey had 2 straight baskets in a row at one point this half. Yeah, that was a terrible fall. Killian Torrey, number 27, first year from France. Took a hard hit on the back of his head. Went down hard. But he is back up. He's on the bench getting a drink. He's okay. Torrey is okay. Iowa State 2 shots at, it's going to be 1 at the free throw line. 1 and 1 bonus. So the first one is good. Now they're going to have a second. Just incredible what this does for the culture of your team. For TJ Otzelberger at Iowa State. Second free throw is good. Everybody in the locker room dialed up like this without their star player today rallying around their team playing like this. Wow. Like, just incredible what Iowa State did today as a team. Kentucky with 19 turnovers. That's the most in an NCAA tournament game since 2000. Jasper Johnson. Lost it. Turnover. 20 turnovers. .20 lead for Iowa State. Tamin Lipsey. Off to Momcilovic. At the top over to Plata. Lipsey back with the basketball. 10 on the shot clock. Finds Heisey attacks the rack. Soars up. And he puts it through. Good for 2. All Iowa State right now at half 2. Kentucky with possession. As Oweh, who he went up into a jump shot last moment, decided to pass. You need to shoot that if you're Oweh. Your team's down by 22. Instead, they waste 10 plus seconds off the shot clock. Bounce pass underneath. Oweh scores the layup. Too much time coming off the clock. 20-point game. Iowa State going to go quick in the shot clock. And they drill it. The edge of the March Madness logo. Jamarian Bateman steps into a 3. 70-47. That just completely caught the defense off guard for Kentucky. Oweh at the top. Off to his right to Johnson. Johnson guarded by Lipsey. Step back 3 contested. No good off the back rim. Swatted out of bounds off Kentucky. Simply impressive. No Joshua Jefferson. And Iowa State smacking around Kentucky in this matchup. Heisey checks out on the bench. .23 lead for Iowa State. Tamin Lipsey to the top of the key. Plata handoff. Bateman back outside Lipsey as we're under 6 minutes left to go. Lipsey on the top. Momcilovic down to 6 in the shot clock. Momcilovic over to Lipsey. Outside to the wing, over to Torrey, who was the one who just got injured a couple minutes ago, who fired a 3, missed off the rim, no good. Kentucky, off the outlet pass up the floor, they bury a corner 3. That's good by Aberdeen. 70-50. Iowa State in the backcourt, and Kentucky picks up the personal charge to Johnson. 5:32 left to go. Bonus free throws at the line for Iowa State with Tamin Lipsey. Plenty of time, Kentucky. It's Iowa State, besides that 3 that they drilled like early in the shot clock. Iowa State's taking the shot clock down to like 5 on multiple possessions. And Kentucky's just walking it up the floor themselves with no sense of urgency. So plenty of time, 5:32 left, down by 21. I don't think so. Second shot's good as well by Lipsey. 72-50. Winner of this game will face the winner of Virginia, Tennessee, which Iowa State is under 5.5 minutes remaining from going to the Sweet 16. Kentucky launching a 3, 17 in the timer. They bury it. Jasper Johnson from downtown. Once again, more time will go off the clock here. Iowa State, so they get the swat away, though. Oway with a steal and a dunk. That's a huge momentum builder for Kentucky, but you're still down by 17 with under 5 left to go. Yeah, needed that, and now Iowa State's, well, they're going to decide to make sure that it's to clearly open teammates. This time, able to get it away. Baseline dribble, Heisey wide off the dribble, sends it down low. Layup, backdoor, they score. Killian Torrey up and in off the glass, good for 2. 19-point lead, that basically dashes any sort of hope for Kentucky. Most likely away. You got to pass the ball. Shot clock under 20. Denzel Aberdeen at the top of the key. A lot of dribbling going on. Bounce pass Oway. Spin cycle. Launches the jumper. Skidded off the rim short. And out of bounds. Got flung all the way to the 6th row of the seats behind the baskets. Out of bounds off Diabate in Kentucky. .410 left to go. Iowa State with possession, controlling tempo. Just working their way around the perimeter. Will take the shot clock down to single digits most likely. Torrey looking for an open teammate into the hands to Lipsey. Lipsey, 7 on the shot clock. Lipsey, kick out corner, up fake with 4 to timer, and lost out of bounds. It was off Iowa State. Iowa State, 19-point lead. Final media timeout left to go. Down to 3:49 left in this one. $20 turnovers by Kentucky. Just 7 by Iowa State. That was a big difference maker in this game. And it wasn't like Iowa State was on point from 3 either. Iowa State was rough in the first half from 3. They started off 0 for 11 from 3-point range, and they were only down by 2 at one point when they started off 0 for 11. So if you're just joining in, Iowa State was trailing by 12. Like early on in this game, I believe it was 16-4 when they were down. No signs of life to start off. Couldn't get their offense going. And then their defense just kept on pressuring Kentucky, eventually got them back into the game. Iowa State hit a 3 right before halftime. They took the lead for the first time in a long time since it was I think it was like 4-2 when they took the lead briefly before the 31-30 lead at halftime. Second half, all Iowa State, 43-25 in half 2. Yeah, roster consistency. Kentucky, guys just, like, coming in and out with a transfer portal. Guys transferring in, guys transferring out. Whereas Iowa State's team chemistry, these guys have been playing together for a long time. Tamin Lipsey, Milan Momcilovic, a lot of these seniors have been playing together for a long time. Purdue is the same thing for Purdue. Braden Smith, Fletcher, Lawyer, Trey Kaufman, Wren, those guys been playing together for a long time. And when you build that team chemistry, it's just so critical in a tournament-style environment where everybody's just so tight. But in that type of environment, when you're down in the clutch, you know the hot hands to go to. This game, not so much in clutch time, but for Iowa State in their turnaround tonight, that really shows a lot out of this team, this coaching staff, and the culture of the Cyclones, that they got a bunch of dudes. Like, these guys are as tough as nails. Their head coach, super tough dude with TJ Otzelberger. And these guys are just, they're just grown men. Like, there's a couple teams that if you face these teams in the tournament in March, watch out. And Iowa State is one of those very few teams alongside Houston that when you play basketball against them in the tournaments, They don't have college kids in their team. They got grown men that you're playing against. And today, the grown men showed up and played big boy basketball and dominated half two. 74-55, just like that. Off the inbound, Lipsy lob, alley-oop. Blake Buchanan slips past the entire Kentucky defense. Off the roller, leads the alley-oop flush. 3.5 left to go. 21-point game. Kentucky driving to the paint as they draw the shooting foul. 2 shots coming up at the line by Cam Williams. That is an inbound out-of-bounds play off an alley-oop lob. That's an inbound alley-oop lob that Iowa State just scored on from Lipsy to Buchanan. One heck of a coaching job in half two by TJ Otzelberger. First free throw is good. Second free throw is good. Inbound in the backcourt for Iowa State. Past midcourt, Nate Heisey. Heisey circling around, playing keep away right now. Over to the ball handler with Taman Lipsy. 12 in the shot clock for Iowa State. Lipsy moves on top to Torrey. Heisey off the curl, kick out, quarter, jab step, 3 from the quarter, got it! Taman Lipsy lets it rain from the perimeter. Under 3 minutes left, Lipsy lighting it up. He has got 26 alongside 5 steals and 9 assists. Just a magical second half by Taman Lipsy. Denzel Aberdeen, guarded by Momcilovic, contested 3 straight away, buries it. Denzel Aberdeen, like basically the only guy to show up today. 18 for Aberdeen. Iowa State, 2.5 left to go. Lipsy will slow it down once again. Dominant performance in half two. 48-30 for the Cyclones. It's a career high, by the way, for Lipsy. As he sends it on top, Torrey. Torrey, dribble, drive, low block, fall away, jumper. No good off the back rim. Long rebound secured by Owe. Owe up the floor to outside. Deep range pull up by Kentucky off the back rim. No good. Rebound secured by Buchanan. 2 minutes left to go. Iowa State, they can start to feel it here. Their whole crowd gets up on their feet. Iowa State going to take on the winner of Virginia versus Tennessee. Huge confidence builder for this team. Without their star player, second-team All-American, first-team All-Conference selection in the Big 12, Joshua Jefferson. Iowa State goes off in the second half. Momcilovic, he drills it. 82-60, Mila Momcilovic. Humongous shot right there. Momcilovic with his 4th 3 of the game. Away, drives, penetrates the paint, hanging up in the air, draws the shooting foul. 1:21 left to go. I'll be back later tonight. UCLA versus UConn. So UCLA versus UConn around 8:45. Feel free to join in for that one if you guys would like. That should be one heck of a game. And if you're new on the stream, keep on smashing the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. We're closing on 30,000 here for subs. I believe we're like 150 subs away from 30K entering today. First shot's good by Owe. Iowa State without their top player. Domination in half number 2. Just huge for this program. What this does for the rest of the team in the tournament, and for them to come out and demolish Kentucky. If they do draw Tennessee in the next rounds, Kentucky won a perfect 2-0 against Tennessee. Brings a ton of confidence to this Iowa State team. Taman Lipsy. Magical game by him. And look at that. Admore missed the 3 shorts. So right now he is tied a career high. 26 points, but he's also got 10 assists on that previous assist over to Momcilovic in the previous 3. Aberdeen bumped into and fouled. So free throws coming up at the line for Kentucky. A game to forget for Kentucky. 20 turnovers for Kentucky. Just 7 by Iowa State. 25 points scored off of those turnovers for the Cyclones. First free throw is good. What Iowa State showed you in the second half, this team is all heart. Grown men playing basketball together. Cohesive as a unit. Team chemistry. There's no I in we. And Iowa State did that in the second half. Everybody came together. Everybody played together. And this Iowa State team, something special. When one guy goes down, their team leader, everybody rallied around. And this Iowa State team looks like they're really special this season, how they came out and produced in a big way in half number 2. Missed 3 by Buchanan. Part of 51-33 second half advantage for the Cyclones. Final seconds left to go in regulation. Oway, corner 3, no good off the back rim. Rebound Iowa State. As this game goes final, Iowa State, humongous second half out of the Cyclones as they advance to the Sweet 16, and they'll take on the winner of Tennessee versus Virginia. 82-63, Tamin Lipsey, the senior leader, leads his team with 26 points, tying a career high. 10 assists, 5 steals by Lipsey. Milan Momcilovic, he had 20 points, drilled 4 threes. 10 points by Killian Torrey, 12 points by Nate Heisey. Just all around an incredible second half by head coach TJ Otzelberger at Iowa State. They trailed at 1 point early on in this game by 12. Came all the way back, led by 1 at halftime. And then the second half, they cruise to a 51-33 box score advantage and outscore Kentucky by 18 points in half number 2 and win by 19. 82-63, the final score for the Cyclones. Iowa State, they're going to play in Chicago on Friday, facing the winner of Tennessee versus Virginia. I'll be back later tonight. I'll be back live for UConn against UCLA. So feel free to join in if you guys would like. That should be a fantastic matchup. Dan Hurley, Mick Croden. Incredible battle coming up, 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Feel free to join in for that one. Before you sign off today, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and ring the notification bell for future live streams as well, as we're making a push for 30K subs out here at the channel. Iowa State. Wow, this team's confidence through the roof right now. Without Joshua Jefferson, and they picked up a victory and dominated Kentucky in the second half like that. Man, that really goes to show the team character out of the Cyclones team. Like, when you play the Cyclones, like, you gotta bring your big boy pants on, because this team is as scrappy as they come. They are as tough as nails, and they showed it today. They had 12 steals. They had 4 starters record at least 2 steals, and Tamin Lipsey, he had 5 steals alongside 10 assists and a career-high 26 points for Lipsey. Thanks for joining in for this one today. I'll be back later tonight. UConn, UCLA, Iowa State. Big win for the Cyclones, 82-63, the final score. Thanks all for joining in, and we will close out to the channel members. All channel members get a shout out at the end of each and every single one of my live streams. We got Jason, John, Michael Bradley, Joe, Lonely Satellite, Warren, the Nija player, Norma, Kelly, Ogie, Russell, Rydog, Astros fan for life, All on the Prowl, I am Ghost, Ian, Edith, SGA Sports Talk, and Elaine. Thanks all for this one today. Iowa State impressive without star player Joshua Jefferson. Big second half, and they win 82-63, the final score. Feel free to join UConn, UCLA later tonight, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday here, folks.